Ethan Moore was one of the richest men in America. Self-made billionaire tech empire, private jets, mansions across 3 states. But none of it mattered when he stood silently outside a small hospital room, staring through the glass at his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Lily had been sick for over a year. Doctors had tried everything, treatments failed. Surgeries brought only temporary hope. Now the doctors had stopped using the word recovery. They said comfort. Ethan clenched his jaw every time he heard it. Inside the room, Lily lay quietly on her bed, surrounded by machines that beeped softly as if afraid to disturb her. Her once bright eyes had grown tired, but they still searched the doorway whenever footsteps passed. She was waiting for her father. When Ethan finally entered, Lily smiled weakly. "Daddy, you're late again." "I'm sorry, sweetheart," he said, forcing a smile. Work ran long. She nodded, pretending to understand. But children always know more than adults think. That night, Lily whispered something that froze Ethan's heart. "Daddy, and if I don't get better, can I have one birthday wish?" Ethan swallowed hard. "You'll have many birthdays," he said quickly. Lily shook her head slowly. "I just want one." After a long silence, Ethan nodded. "Anything." Her eyes lit up for the first time in weeks. "I want a birthday party and with kids. Real kids, not doctors, not nurses." Ethan hesitated. Lily had been isolated. Doctors warned against crowds. And honestly, Ethan had no idea how to throw a normal child's party anymore. Still, he promised. The day of the birthday. On Lily's birthday, the mansion was decorated like a dream. Balloons, a massive cake, expensive gifts from celebrities and business partners. But there was one problem. No children came, parents were uncomfortable. Some were scared. Others simply didn't want their kids around sickness. Lily sat in her wheelchair staring at the empty garden. "Did they forget me?" she asked softly. Ethan felt something break inside him. Before he could answer, the gate slowly opened. A small figure stepped inside. A boy, around 9 years old, wearing old shoes, holding a small, poorly wrapped gift. Behind him stood a woman in worn clothes, clearly nervous. "I'm sorry," she said to the security guards. "My son heard about the party. He insisted on coming." Ethan was about to refuse, but Lily spoke first. "Daddy, can he stay?" Ethan nodded. The boy walked up to Lily and handed her the gift. "It's not expensive," he said, "but my mom helped me make it." Lily opened it. Inside was a simple bracelet, made of colored strings. She smiled wider than she had in months. "I love it." The boy smiled too. And then something happened. Something no doctor could explain. Lily moved her fingers. Just a little, but enough. The machines began to beep differently. Doctors rushed in. Ethan stood frozen. Because in that moment he realized something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Sometimes miracles don't come from money. They come from kindness. The mansion looked alive from the outside. Golden lights shimmered across the tall windows. Soft music floated through the air. Expensive cars lined the driveway like trophies. Yet inside, the silence was heavier than stone. Ethan Blackwood stood alone in the grand hallway, staring at the staircase where his daughter Lily usually sat in her wheelchair, watching the world from a distance. Tonight the staircase was empty. No laughter, no footsteps, no voices calling her name. He clenched his fists. Invitations had been sent weeks ago, to business partners, politicians, celebrities, even so-called friends. Every one of them had responded politely. "We'll try to make it." Something urgent came up. "Please give Lily our love. Give her love from a distance." In the living room, a massive birthday cake stood untouched. Pink candles melted slowly, wax dripping like tears. Balloons hovered near the ceiling, their strings swaying gently as if waiting for someone who would never arrive. Ethan turned toward the window. Outside the iron gates, beyond the trimmed hedges and security cameras, the city moved on. Busy, loud, uncaring. Somewhere out there, people laughed freely while his daughter waited in her room, pretending not to hear the silence. He remembered the doctor's words from years ago. She may never walk again. She may never live a normal life. Back then, Ethan had promised himself money would fix everything. But money couldn't buy friends. Money couldn't buy kindness. Money couldn't buy courage. A soft knock echoed from the front gate. Ethan frowned. The security team hadn't reported any arrivals. Another knock followed, hesitant, almost apologetic. Ethan walked toward the monitor screen and froze. 2 children stood outside the gate. A boy and a girl no older than 10. Their clothes were worn, their shoes too thin for the cold evening. The girl clutched a small box wrapped in green paper, its edges uneven as if taped together carefully by small hands. "Who are they?" Ethan muttered. Before the guards could respond, Ethan pressed the intercom button himself. "Why are you here?" His voice echoed through the speakers. The boy swallowed nervously and looked at the girl. She stepped forward. "We heard it's someone's birthday," she said softly. We brought a gift." Ethan laughed bitterly. A gift? From everyone who mattered, not a single soul had come. And now 2 strangers stood at his gate with nothing but courage and a poorly wrapped box. He hesitated. Then, without knowing why, he said, "Let them in." The gate slowly opened. As the children stepped onto the marble path, Ethan felt something shift inside him. Something unfamiliar, something dangerously close to hope. And for the first time that night, the silence began to crack. The gift no one expected. The room fell into an uncomfortable silence. Ethan Blake, one of the richest men in the country, stood frozen, staring at the small green box resting in his daughter Lily's trembling hands. The wrapping paper was simple. No gold ribbons, no luxury branding. Just a neat bow, slightly uneven, as if tied by nervous fingers. "This is from you?" Ethan asked the boy softly. The boy nodded. His name was Noah. He couldn't have been more than 10. His clothes were worn, his shoes a size too big, but his eyes held a strange calm, almost certainty. "It's not expensive," Noah said quickly, afraid the man might reject it. "But it's important." Lily looked up at her father, her eyes filled with something he hadn't seen in years, hope mixed with fear. "Daddy, can I open it?" she whispered. Ethan swallowed hard. He had spent millions on doctors, treatments, experimental therapies. Every promise had ended the same way, with disappointment. He didn't want her heart broken again. But how could he say no? "Yes," he said quietly. "You can." Lily carefully lifted the lid. Inside was a small wooden device, handcrafted, smooth around the edges. Attached to it were soft straps and a folded note. The doctor stepped closer, curiosity replacing skepticism. "What is this?" one of them asked. Noah took a deep breath. "My mom used to be a physical therapist," he said, "before she passed away. She worked with kids who couldn't move. She taught me things, exercises, ways the brain reconnects." Ethan frowned. "You built this?" "I helped," Noah said. "It's not a miracle. It's practice." Lily unfolded the note with shaking fingers. Her lips moved silently as she read. "Your body isn't broken. It just forgot how to listen. This will help it remember." Tears filled Ethan's eyes. "This is cruel," one doctor whispered. "Giving false hope." "No," Lily interrupted softly. Everyone turned to her. "I want to try," the doctor sighed. "There's no medical basis." Ethan raised his hand. "Let her," he said firmly. "She's been told no her whole life." The device was gently placed around Lily's legs. Noah showed them how it worked. Small movements, pressure points, guided motion. Nothing aggressive, nothing dangerous. Just repetition, just patience. Lily closed her eyes. At first, nothing happened. Seconds passed, then minutes. Ethan felt his heart sink. Until, "Daddy," Lily whispered. Her fingers dug into the armrest. "I feel something." The room froze. "What do you feel?" Ethan asked, barely breathing. "Warm," she said. Like my legs are waking up." The doctors exchanged stunned glances. "That's impossible," one murmured. But Lily gasped. "I felt that. I really felt that." Ethan dropped to his knees in front of her, tears streaming down his face. "Again," Lily said urgently. "Please, again." Noah smiled for the first time that night. "This is only the beginning," he said. "It takes time, but it works." Ethan looked at the boy, really looked at him. "Why would you give this to us?" he asked. "You don't even know us." Noah hesitated. "Because," he said quietly, "I know what it's like when no one comes." The words hit Ethan like a punch. And in that moment, he realized something far more powerful than the gift itself had entered the room. Hope had returned. The truth the billionaire could no longer ignore. The room was silent after the gift was opened. Not the awkward kind of silence, but the heavy, suffocating kind. The kind that presses against your chest and forces memories to rise whether you want them to or not. The billionaire stood frozen near the doorway, staring at the small wooden box in his daughter's trembling hands. His heartbeat thundered in his ears. Inside the box was not something expensive, not jewelry, not technology. It was a simple, worn-out music bracelet, handmade, uneven, and old. His breath caught. He recognized it immediately. Years ago, before the money, before the power, before the mansion, he had made the same bracelet for his daughter with his own hands during a difficult time when they had nothing but each other. He hadn't seen it since the night of the accident. "How do you have this?" he whispered. The nurse who had brought the gift hesitated, then spoke quietly. "The woman who dropped it off said she found it years ago at the accident site. She kept it because she believed it belonged to someone who mattered." The billionaire's legs felt weak. His daughter looked up at him, her eyes shining with something he hadn't seen in years. "Hope," she said. The girl continued softly. She said this bracelet reminded her that miracles don't come from money. They come from love. The billionaire swallowed hard. For the first time in a decade, he felt something crack inside him. Guilt. He had spent millions on doctors. He had bought the best treatments. He had built walls around his pain. But somewhere along the way, he had stopped being present. He had stopped being a father. "I missed your birthdays," he said hoarsely, kneeling beside her wheelchair. "I missed your laughter, your fears, your tears." His daughter didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, "I didn't need presents, Daddy. I just wanted you to stay." Those words hit him harder than any diagnosis ever had. Tears streamed down his face. Real tears, not the quiet kind he hid behind closed doors, but raw, uncontrollable ones. At that moment, the door slowly opened again. The woman who had delivered the gift stepped inside. She was modestly dressed, nervous, clearly uncomfortable in such a grand place. The billionaire looked at her and suddenly understood. "You were there," he said. "The night of the accident." She nodded. "I pulled her from the wreck before help arrived," she said quietly. "But when the ambulance came, I stepped away. I thought she would be okay." He stood up slowly, emotions raging. "You saved my daughter's life," he said. "I did what anyone should," she replied. "I never expected to be remembered." The billionaire took a deep breath. "Stay," he said firmly. "Please." Because deep down he knew this woman had brought something no doctor ever had. And his daughter, for the first time in years, was smiling. The secret behind the gift. The room was silent after the girl finished speaking. The billionaire stood frozen, still holding the small music box in his trembling hands. The soft melody continued to play, filling the vast, luxurious room with something it had lacked for years: warmth. He looked at the girl again. Her clothes were simple, her shoes worn. She clearly didn't belong in a mansion like this. Yet somehow, she had brought more life into this room than all the expensive decorations combined. "Who are you?" he finally asked, his voice low and controlled, though his eyes betrayed deep emotion. The girl hesitated. "My name is Lily," she said softly. "I used to live near the old rehabilitation center, the one you shut down 3 years ago." His chest tightened. That place. The doctors had said it was useless, a waste of money. His daughter hadn't improved there, so he had closed it without a second thought. "And why are you here?" he asked. Lily glanced toward the bed where the billionaire's daughter lay, her eyes fixed on the music box, tears quietly slipping down her cheeks. "Because she saved me," Lily said. The billionaire frowned. "Saved you?" "Yes," Lily nodded. "When everyone else ignored me, she didn't." She began to speak, her voice steady but heavy with memory. "I was sick, my parents had died. I couldn't walk properly after an accident. I was placed in that center because no one wanted me." She swallowed. "Most people avoided me, some pitied me. But your daughter, she talked to me every day, even when she couldn't speak properly herself." The billionaire felt something break inside him. "She shared her food with me," Lily continued. "She listened when I cried, she told me stories. She told me to never give up, even when her own body had." The room felt smaller. He could barely breathe. "I made this gift for her," Lily said, pointing at the music box. "She once told me this song reminded her of a time when she could dance." The billionaire closed his eyes. Memories he had buried resurfaced. His daughter laughing as a child, spinning around the living room, music playing loudly. He had been too busy back then, always working, always chasing success. "How did you get in here?" he asked quietly. "I didn't mean to," Lily replied. "I just wanted to leave the gift at the gate." But the guards laughed and said no one would come to her birthday anyway, so one gift wouldn't matter. The billionaire clenched his jaw. No one would come. Those words echoed painfully. At that moment, his daughter made a small sound. Everyone froze, her fingers, barely noticeable, moved. The billionaire rushed to her side. "Sweetheart?" Her eyes shifted, slowly, weakly, but intentionally toward Lily. A doctor stepped forward in disbelief. That's a response, a voluntary one." Tears streamed down the billionaire's face. For the first time in years, his daughter had reacted, not to machines, not to treatment, but to love. He turned to Lily, his voice breaking. "You're not leaving!" Lily panicked. "I didn't mean to cause trouble." "No," he interrupted gently. "You're staying. You're part of her life now." The billionaire looked around the empty room at the untouched decorations, the lonely cake, and for the first time he understood something terrifyingly simple. Money had built this mansion, but kindness had just cracked open a miracle. Outside, the sky darkened as night fell. Inside, something long dead had begun to awaken. And this was only the beginning. The truth that could not stay hidden. The days following Lily's birthday passed quietly, but something had changed inside the mansion. For the first time in years, the halls did not feel empty. Lily woke up each morning with a strange feeling, hope. She replayed that day again and again in her mind. The shy smile of the stranger, the way he spoke to her like she was normal, not broken, not fragile. The way he listened. Most of all, she thought about the gift. The old music box sat beside her bed now. She played it every night before sleeping. And every night, without fail, she noticed something unusual. Her fingers were responding. At first, it was barely noticeable. A slight twitch, a faint warmth. She told herself it was her imagination. Doctors had told her for years that there would be no improvement. Her condition was permanent, but the sensations continued. One morning, as sunlight streamed through her window, Lily felt a sharp ache in her left hand. She gasped, not from pain, but from shock. Pain meant feeling. Feeling meant possibility. She called for her nurse, her voice shaking. "Please, look at my hand." The nurse watched closely as Lily focused, her face strained with effort. Slowly, so slowly it was almost invisible, her index finger moved. The nurse's eyes widened. "Oh my God." Within minutes, the mansion was in chaos. Doctors were called, specialists arrived. Tests were run again and again. Machines beeped, charts were reviewed in disbelief. And finally, the words Charles had not heard in years were spoken. "There is neurological response." Charles froze. "What did you say?" His voice trembled. The lead doctor swallowed. "Sir, your daughter is showing signs of recovery." Very early signs, but real ones. Charles felt his knees weaken. He grabbed the edge of the table to steady himself. "How?" he whispered. "How is this possible?" The doctor hesitated. There are rare cases where emotional stimuli trigger dormant neural pathways. Strong emotional experiences, hope, purpose. Charles's mind raced back to one moment. The gift, the boy. The birthday. "Find him," Charles said suddenly, his voice firm. "Find the boy who came to her birthday." The security team worked quickly. Cameras were reviewed. Records were checked. But the boy was nowhere to be found. No identity, no address, no name. He had arrived and disappeared. That night, Charles sat beside Lily's bed, holding her hand carefully. "You didn't tell me you were feeling better," he said softly. Lily smiled weakly. "I was scared it would disappear if I said it out loud." Charles's eyes filled with tears. "I should have been here more. I was so busy fighting the world, I forgot to fight for you." Lily squeezed his hand, this time noticeably. "I don't need the world, Dad," she whispered. "I just needed someone to see me." Charles closed his eyes, overwhelmed with guilt. And in that moment, he made a decision that would change everything. The next morning, headlines exploded across the media. Billionaire announces foundation for disabled children after daughter's miraculous progress. But behind closed doors, Charles was focused on something else. He wanted answers. Who was that boy? And why did his presence do what millions of dollars, the best doctors, and years of treatment could not? Far away, in a quiet part of the city, a teenage boy watched the news from an old television in a dim apartment. He turned off the screen slowly. "She's getting better," he whispered to himself. Relief washed over his face, but it was mixed with fear, because he knew something Charles didn't. The gift he gave Lily wasn't just a gift. It was a reminder of a past Charles had buried, a past that was about to return. And when it did, nothing would ever be the same again. The gift that changed everything. The room was silent. Not the comfortable kind of silence, but the kind that presses against your chest, the kind where every breath feels too loud. All eyes were on the small box resting in Lily's trembling hands. The billionaire, her father, stood frozen near the doorway. For the first time in years, he didn't know what to say or what to do. His wealth, his influence, his power, none of it mattered in this moment. "Go on," Lily whispered, her voice fragile but hopeful. "Open it." With shaking fingers, she slowly lifted the lid. Inside was a simple, worn-out music bracelet. Nothing expensive, nothing flashy, nothing that belonged in a billionaire's mansion. But the moment Lily saw it, her breath caught. Her eyes widened, her lips parted. And then, tears spilled freely down her cheeks. I remember this," she whispered. Her father rushed forward. "What do you mean?" Lily swallowed hard. "Mom used to play this song for me before the accident every night. She said it helped my legs feel warm." The woman who had given the gift, the quiet volunteer, lowered her head. "I found it at a second-hand shop," she said softly. The owner said it belonged to a woman who donated it years ago, after losing her child. The billionaire's heart shattered. His wife. She had given away the bracelet after Lily's accident, unable to bear the pain of seeing it anymore. Lily clutched the bracelet to her chest. "Can you play it?" she asked. The woman nodded and pressed the small button. A gentle melody filled the room, soft, familiar, alive. Lily closed her eyes. At first, nothing happened. Then her fingers twitched. Her father gasped. "Lily," he whispered. Her hand moved again. Then slowly, impossibly, her foot shifted. The room exploded into chaos. Doctors shouted, nurses rushed in. Her father fell to his knees, sobbing openly. "It's not a miracle," one doctor said later, stunned. "It's memory, emotion." Her brain reconnected pathways we thought were lost. But to her father, it was everything. In the weeks that followed, Lily began therapy again, this time with hope. She smiled more, she laughed. She believed. And the woman who had brought the gift, the billionaire, searched for her. When he finally found her, she was packing boxes in a small apartment. "I don't want money," she told him before he could speak. "I just wanted her to have something familiar on her birthday." He paused. Then he said quietly, "You didn't just give my daughter a gift. You gave her back to me." Months later, on Lily's next birthday, the mansion was full. Friends, doctors, staff, laughter. And Lily, she stood. Not for long, not without support, but she stood. Her father held her hand, tears in his eyes as she whispered, "See, Dad, I wasn't forgotten." And he finally understood the truth he had missed for so long. Sometimes the most powerful gift in the world isn't money. It's showing up.